Hello guys, welcome to the video. Playing something a bit different today than my usual Mia's front on this channel. I hope you all feel welcome nonetheless if you're a new watcher, and if you're a regular watcher, do take a look at this game because it's pretty cool. I was playing Mia's front as usual, and then, I was getting frustrated with something in the game, so I thought, well, why not try something new? And looking at the Steam page and having heard some recommendations, of course, in the comments, I thought about Armored Brigade, which I'd heard of before. And this game has recently released a Swedish DLC, or, well, it's not a Swedish DLC, it's a Scandinavian DLC, but I mean, let's be for real, who buys this to play as the Danish armed forces, Nah, that's not what we're doing, bro. We're playing as Sweden, of course. And yeah, well, if you haven't figured it out by now, hearing my voice, I am Swedish myself, and I'm what we would call here a MÖP, a militärt överintresserad person, military overinterested person. So, I was hoping that I could partially show off the game to my viewers, but also tell you all about this. About the forces that we have under our command. And yeah, a little bit, maybe some technical details on vehicles, maybe some doctrine things, just tell you guys a little bit about the Swedish armed forces during the Cold War, which this game takes place in. I think we're in 1988 right now. So yeah, to begin with, it's quite a big game. It's a bit bigger than Mia's front in the scale. And when you begin like this, you can see the map is split in two right here. So this is our staging area back here. Ooh. Up here we have the no man's land where recon units can be placed. The same applies to the enemy. The enemy's no man's land and his staging area. Our objective today will be to try and take the southern Swedish town of Skivarp, also with surrounding areas, including, let's see here, I think this would just be called Skivarp outskirts and an area near Ölöv here. So just trying to take this place. The enemy is a Soviet infantry formation or infantry focus formation with some armored attached and such things. It's to simulate basically a Soviet landing party of the naval infantry having taken foothold here on the southern Swedish coast in Scania, or Skåne in Swedish, which is where the map is. So all of this is playable. You can, when you set up a battle, you can switch this out to anywhere you can see here. That is Malmö airport over there, which I've flown from. And Trelleborg there is the biggest city in the region. But yeah, let's not get too hooked up on that. But it's quite fun to see Sweden represented in a war game, not only with the units, but also with the map, because having spent some time, not a lot, but some time down here, I'm still getting used to the controls. And also, I'm so sorry when I zoom in and out, it's gonna be really bad like that. That is just the game, I think. I don't think the game is really that good in, with the scroll wheel. So if someone knows another way to zoom in and out like that, just going up and down, do please tell. But yeah, it looks extremely similar to real life. The train is accurate, I must say. So that is cool. The last time I think I saw that was in Wargame Airland Battle, back in the days. They also had some maps in Sweden. But that is just, that's pretty arcadey, that game is. But yeah, our first objective of the day is to take the area here, Hasle-Bösarp, and also Torsjö, looking towards Solberga here on the east as well. We're fighting north to south, trying to strike the invaders out of the country. But yeah, so I think this will be a quite nice staging area to set up in. So move out from our original staging area and move up here, try to take positions, and then advance southwards with armored forces. One of the most domineering features of the map here, I would say, is this hilly area around what was it called, Hasle-Bösarp or something. Let's see here. Yeah, Hasle-Bösarp. So you can see there's actually quite nice hills here, which is extremely rare in this region. So that gives us, the terrain is very flat, and this, you can get some recon teams up here into this building, for example. You will have nice lines of sight. towards objective 2, which I think we will try to strike against first. I've also set up so the enemy cannot set up back here. You see this red striked area, or what you want to call it. That is just that the enemy can't set up back there, because I want to force them a little bit to defend the objectives. We'll see how the AI holds up. I haven't played too much of the game. I played maybe a couple times now, some scenarios I just set up for myself. So yeah. But anyway, we have this scout platoon in PBB 302s, which are, you see it in the bottom left, is a Swedish APC basically, with a 20mm up top, used by our mechanized forces during the Cold War. It is now replaced with a real IFV. This is told that it's, you know, it says IFV, but I don't agree. An IFV to me, that is like, you know, CV90, our beloved, you know, and, you know, BMP3, Bradley, something like that, you know, something with a bit more punch to it. And here we have some STRV 104s, which are Swedish Centurions. So hold on, let me just get one. So yeah, there you go. This is, you can see it in the bottom left, heavily modified Centurion in Swedish service. They are to support this platoon as we try and take Hasle-Bösarp here. The only things we will be facing here are the enemy's recon units in of themselves. So these are scout tanks. This is a scout platoon, whatever you want to call it. We also have another armored reconnaissance platoon moving in here from the west, trying to get some angle towards Hasle-Bösarp as well. But I think we should be able to take it from the enemy, if they even have anything there. But yeah, I was thinking, let's just get this started, and I will, you know, just go through it as we go. Okay, we have a suspected enemy armor here. Enemy armor even all the way back here. That is an odd placement for them. Infantry here, infantry here. Okay. So that's what those yellow icons mean. I would like their armor. I should have just blocked this whole thing out back here. I mean, I would have liked them to set up more around here. We will see how they place out, but this is just stupid if there's armored components all the way back there. Yeah, let's check these guys out, as it were. So here we can see our PBVs, Panzarbandvagnar, armored personnel carrier. That's what that means. And the Centurions are leading the way. Those are quite quick for being Centurions. It's because those 104s have American diesel engine in them. An American turbo diesel, in fact, with an automatic gearbox, which is a great, you know, upgrade to the British petrol engines that were in them from the start, with basically derivatives of the Merlin engines from World War II. We are exposing ourselves a little bit here to the enemy, so let's just make sure we don't do something stupid here. You, my friend, could do that and then rotate towards here. Cool, so now we set up a little armored hedgehog here. Odd formation, but it's from necessity. And our PBVs should be advancing towards these houses here. At the same time, we can see in the distance our PBVs have taken a position all the way out there as Overwatch. Here we have some neutral. So I don't know, I forgot to remove that, but that is just combine harvester. But yeah, these it's really cool to see these Centurions in game, partially because my father served on one of these, or well, he served on a Centurion, not a 104. Those were all down here in the south of Sweden. All 80 of the 104s we built. But let me show you. Here, here we have it. The 102R. So a little bit, you might be wondering, what does all of this mean, or what is this? So it's hard to start explaining even where I'm thinking about the name here. So STRV stands for Stridsvagn, means battle wagon, directly translated, but it's a tank. 102 means that it's the second tank that we have acquired with a 10 centimeter barrel when you count it down. So basically it is a 10.5 centimeter, but they count it down to the closest integer, which will be 10 here. So it's a 10 centimeter with 10 centimeter barrel, second tank that we have of it, and R stands for renovering and modifiering. So renovation and modification. So they are renovated and modified. In the case of the 102R, it means that they were, how can you say it? They got this little thing up here. Maybe it's hard to see, it's in the box there. That's a laser designator. They also had a very modern fire control system. So it's just point and click like any modern MBT. Just aim at the enemy tank, click, boom. There you go, basically. Here are two 73mm flare launchers, those long rods back there, which could fire flares up to, I think, 2 kilometers away almost. And yeah, they had no engine upgrade in this one, but they have fitted it with an ERA pack. So this is Israeli ERA. We took a lot of inspiration from the Israelis with these tanks, as we had seen them use them to success in the Yom Kippur War. If you want to read about that more, you can look up the Valley of Tears. So then an Israeli brigade faced off consisting of like around 100 tanks, faced off against 500 plus Syrian and Arab tanks, and managed to really do some good work there. So that is why we were so interested in that. However, in the 80s, these guys would not only be facing T-55s and T-62s, they would be facing much, much more competent adversaries, generally. But, our invasion defense, we weren't counting on them bringing in, like, their guards armored divisions over here, or tank divisions. We weren't really considering for a long time that maybe T-80Us would appear in Sweden, So, but when we did, we got some other tools for that, which I will talk about later when we get to it. Yeah, here we can see PBVs are moving nicely into position. And looking at this, you might just get a bit confused. What is all of this? But I mean, it makes sense. You have, we have a mechanized company down here. So this is a mechanized company that is staging here. We have tanks, let's see, staging around here in this area, just hidden, because I've had to hide them a little bit. I'm scared of enemy air attacks and such things. So, and same here, we have a friendly mechanized infantry company staging in Skurup. So that is pretty cool. These guys, when we get enough intel from our from Hasle, Bösarp, and Torsjö, we will be looking to take these positions with the armor and mechanized components, and then push out to objectives. Anyway, here our PBVs have set up. So let's tell them to unload their cargo, which are our recon soldiers. Fun fact, my uncle was actually a recon soldier in the Swedish army, and even deployed to the most chill deployment ever, but Cyprus, as a peacekeeper for the UN. Now I think a lot of people, especially my American watchers, will be like, the UN is satanic, the UN is satanic, and I advise you all to check out Nordbat 2, which was our component in the Yugoslav civil wars, what they did. Everyone wasn't allowing massacres to go unnoticed, so to say. Although the UN, of course, as the organization that it is, really did not appreciate our forces breaking ROE, rules of engagement. But it is what it is. One feature of the map that's really like commanding or domineering is that there's actually an incline, or like a height here. You can see that from this side we can't see anything towards our lines, and the same for us towards their lines. It's broken here by these places here like Hasle, Bösarp, and Solberga over there to the east. But in general, we won't get any nice lines of sight, so that's why I want to move recon into these places And then when I've gotten some kind of information about what's on the other side, we can push through with our tanks. And, of course, mechanized infantry and such things. Here's just a random civilian out in the field. Man, don't you have anything better to do than just stand here in the field? There's a war going on, man. Get the fuck. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Get real. PVVs are now moving on to this section of buildings, which I want to take. Probably looking towards going towards here as well. The train is really kind of conductive to these kinds of armored operations, but you can be spotted from extremely far away. ATGMs and such things are dangerous. There's not a lot of, you know, usually when like in this kind of combat, it would be quite nice to just allow the units to work autonomously a little bit, but there's no such option in the game where they can just, you know, instinctively use like cover and train to get into like hull down positions and so on. There's also a short delay here for me in my commands. In the base game, like, or the base setting is that there would be quite a long delay. However, I found that to be very, like, it brought me no joy when playing with it, so I turned it off. Maybe some Armored Brigade 2 stans or true believers or fans or whatever you want to call it, they will disagree with me, but yeah. We have something unidentified out there. Might be a civilian vehicle, it might be an enemy one, we don't know. Here we can see some ATGM carriers moving out. So these are our Pansarvärns robotbandvagn 551. Yeah, we will have more mouthfuls coming. It all makes sense if you're Swedish or no Swedish, but if you don't know, it's gonna be crazy. But what it basically means, literally, oh, hold on. Enemy ground unit spawner, we'll get to that in a second. But what it means, reading it from left to right, is Pansarvärn means anti-tank, robot, the R means missile, bandvagn means personnel carrier. So 55 stands for the tow missile. So the tow missile in Swedish service is called robot 55, robot 55, and one, well, it's the first one of its kind. So, oh yeah, it gets to be a lot. You wanna see the craziest one? Let's see here. This one is infamous. It's the Pansarvärnspjäs-terrängbil 1111. Yeah, this little thing. You see what it is. It's a recoilless rifle put onto a little, like, jeep. Okay, so the enemy unit is actually a scout party here in these houses. But our men that are being engaged have a connection to the PBVs. So the IVs should start opening up with their 20mm sooner rather than later. And we have some extra scout teams that can help out, so. So yeah, now you can see the 20mm is working. So that should be all she wrote for those enemy scouts. However, where there's one, there's usually more. Yeah, there you go. What's interesting though is where the rest of them are. Okay, something unknown out in the field. Is it a random ass Swedish guy who's just out 3:40 in the morning taking a stroll through the field, or is it a Soviet scout party or a like recon troop? You never know. Something is firing from all the way back there, it seems. Could be some kind of artillery system. In that case, we should definitely... Yeah, it is. We should think about getting these guys the hell out of here, honestly. So let's have them get back to their vehicles, and then we can mount them up for the next objective instead. So let's tell these guys, these two guys, to load up. As you can see, the lines are getting yellow here. Means that they're able to load up in their vehicles. So these lines, this line is getting yellow. Now everyone's loaded up. Cool. I'm thinking we might just wanna do a little circumvention here, just getting across here maybe. Setting up in those buildings instead. Let's see here. Let's have them move fast and then something like that, I guess. That should be good enough for this platoon. We have one lone scout team making his way out to Solberga, quite unsupported. I'm kinda banking on there not being anyone there. If there is someone there, well then we know. Yeah, here we can see impacts from the enemy artillery. We can even see craters. Yeah, it would just be a bad time staying there, so better to move out. Moving my centurions about, getting them into nicer positions, and yeah, as we can see, these guys move quite quickly. We will not see the same with my dad's tank. I am curious about that infantry contact out there, or well, human contact is I guess what that's trying to represent. So I will move out these guys to this building, I think. Here we can see our scouts are getting into place here on the other side of this little gully here. And I wanted them right here, remember? Yeah. Looks to be a decent place for a scout team. So here I am trying to get my ATGM flicks into a nice position up here on the hill. Ooh, that was too quick. But yeah, we will see if it's a good idea or if we will just get bombarded by the enemy. And here we have him, another random ass dude in the middle of the field. One could think we're just like the Taliban or something in this country, you know, just standing out in the field all randomly. It tells me almost that this could be something similar to just some random ass dude. So we can see now that dawn is breaking quite early in the morning. It's summer, so it gets lighter. The day is long and the night is short up here in the north, and visibility is increasing as a thanks to that. Scout team here is taking fire. We should tell them to just try to quickly see cover. That is a good idea. This scout team should try to move quickly to the next cover. And this scout team should also try to move to the closest cover. And let's have these guys, the PBVs. Okay, they are they aren't getting it. Oh, dang. Let's get these guys out of here. I think that's a tank. Let's have them pop smoke. Let's have these guys pop smoke too. Yeah, some kind of tracked vehicle out there in the distance, I believe. Get the hell out of there, guys. Seems like we killed an enemy scout team here as well from what I can read up here on the left. Which is quite, it's really interesting, actually. But, yeah. So these guys, you need to get back now. One is actually providing cover as the other one moves. That is quite cool. Yeah, look at them go. Oh, okay, I thought he would just move up and... But no. Some kind of tracked vehicle here on the far right. Interesting. Now I think we're being targeted by enemy artillery as well, but there's nowhere to move. You will get cut down in these fields, so it's better that he stays hidden for now. Enemy vehicle here on the right as well in a really nice place. A bit far from the objectives, but well, it is what it is. Okay, cool. Everyone has gone into hiding now in the buildings. Okay, it's a T-72 B1. That will deal with a IFV easily. We could call in an airstrike on it. Let's do that. Let's use the 2 Drakens that we have. And yeah. So they will try to target it with their rockets. I mean, probably won't do anything. But maybe. We will see. Yes, would be cool to see. One of my other relatives, by the way, flew the Draken, so this plane here, but he was not in attack squadron. He was in, what do you call it? Jakt in Swedish. The J there stands for Jakt, which means air-to-air combat. attack, of course, attack, so ground attack. So this tells us that this is actually an air-to-air aircraft, so to say. This one, AJ, tells us that it's multi-role, primarily in the service of attack and then secondarily in air-to-air. So this current Swedish BTRs here on the right, it seems okay. But yeah, the current Swedish multi-role plane is the JAS 39 or JAS 39 Gripen, which, you know, it's jakt, attack, spaning, so hunt, attack, recon, or, well, air-to-air, ground attack, and reconnaissance. As the weather gets better, maybe we could actually get some toes off against that T-72 from all the way back here, but we will see. It remains to be unknown. Okay, enemy fixed wing is now approaching and launching rockets at my... pop smoke. At my my self-propelled ATGMs. These are MiG-27s. God dang. They are gonna tear us a new one. Let's see here. Yeah. We are working against them with our anti-air though, Bofors cannons and our SAM missiles, which we can show off in a second if we get a kill here. He's smoking though. He will be out of the action, that's for sure. Oh, we got him! Nice! Beautiful. Okay. Let's damage control a little bit here. 1 PBV, 1 IFV destroyed, 1 tank damaged, and 1 of our TOW2 launchers killed, actually. That is sad to see. Anyway, let's just pause here for a second, get these guys loaded up, as I want them to have some new tasking and show off the anti-air assets. My other uncle served on this, and I think by now you're getting kinda to the point here with the video. Back then we had a truly total defense, which almost every able-bodied man took part in. So, but yeah, my other uncle, he served on one of these. They had radars. I'm unsure if they are modeled in this game, but yeah, he was on this one. If you watch my videos a little bit before, you can hear me talk about this uncle a bit. I say he can build anything in his garage, and it's kind of true. Anyway, let's check out this one. This is our SAM missile system. So this is, as we see here in the bottom left, Luftvärns robotbandvagn. So it follows kind of the same as the Pansarvärns robotbandvagn. So instead of Pansarvärn anti-tank, we have Luftvärn anti-air. Robot, missile, bandvagn, personnel carrier 70. The missile is called the RBS 70, and this is the first of its kind. So yeah, pretty cool little unit. Totally Swedish, made from the top to the bottom, and designed. The robot on top, unlike the TOW, is Swedish designed. It works with the laser system, or laser targeting, so it does not need a IR lock, and it can't be and chaff and flares can't do anything against it, which is pretty cool. So here we have our kites. These are called Draken, which means either dragon or kite in Swedish, but as I understand it, it's actually supposed to be a kite. It kind of looks like one, so you can understand it, but they're coming in with some rockets here to try and strike the T-72. So it's good for us to use these as well to probe for enemy anti-air defense, to see for Viggens later, which are a bit more capable ground strike units or planes. Yeah, they're firing off here, they're finding targets on their own, so probably something is hiding there as well. Unsure if we did anything. This one is targeting the T-72 over there. However, not succeeding. This one nearly took a hit there. They're getting out, it seems. Come on, guys. Good luck. Yeah, enemy anti-air is present, but nothing too serious. Here we can see BTR, so this is a motor rifle platoon set up here. That is good to know. Some kind of wheeled vehicle is spotted at objective 2, I think. Unsure who's spotting it. Okay, that recon unit over there is spotting all the way out there. That is really nice. That is really, really nice. Oh yeah, these motorized. Okay, of course. Yeah, the Soviets had, as you can see, it says down there SA-14. So they have, I think that's the Igla manpad system on. I think it's dynamically in the company level in Soviet motor rifle companies, which is really interesting. I mean, it makes sense considering that they, I guess, suspected, and I think they were correct in their suspicions that NATO would have air superiority. So then they had those in the motor rifle squads. And I think they even had ATGMs on the company level as well, which is pretty cool. Right now, I'm loading up some Bill ATGM teams into their BV-206 all-terrain carriers. A lot to be said about both systems, actually. The Bill, in of itself, is innovative in the regard that it's the first. What a nice picture we get of it. It can be nearly seen down here. It's the first, I think, top-down attack ATGM ever created. So even to this day, and he's also in the class. That's actually how you fire a missile in the, as taught by the Swedish Army, sitting on your knees like that, called the robot position, a missile position. Cool. But yeah, it's top down. I think they're used in Ukraine. I haven't seen a lot from it, but I know there are MBT laws, top down ATGMs, which are a bit more modern. They did some really cool work in the beginning of the invasion. They showed the Russians. They really did. And yeah, so these guys, true, these are dangerous to any kind of tank to this day. Even if you can't beat the missile, and if it impacts you top down, no modern MBT to this day, this is a missile from the 80s, guys, has the armor to defeat it. So yeah, really cool little thing. Heading over to the transport, the Bandvagn 206. I've actually, first of all, these are amazing, amazing little vehicles. If you can't get through with this, you can't get through with any other kind of vehicle. And also, if you manage to get this one stuck, you're really either in the shit or you're really shit at driving, because this thing does just trucks on. Look at those tracks, guys. They're also amphibious. Anyway, you can either sit here in the back, or you can follow it along tolka, we call it in Swedish, which is where you have a rope here behind, and people hold on, and you can use it with skis in the north, for example. I've done that, and it is super scary, and I'm lucky because my dad is, where I'm from, skiing is not that popular. It's more up north, but anyway, my dad was a cross-country skier in his youth and quite good at it too. So he taught me cross-country skiing. Not saying that it's like super uncommon here or anything where I'm from, but it's just not as common as in some other parts of Sweden. But anyway, so following this thing with the rope, if one person takes a fall, basically, if they're, you all take a fall. And that happened a few times. So it was pretty funny. But yeah, those are cool little things. So here we can see out here an enemy platoon of wheeled vehicles, which I suspect to be an enemy motorized rifle platoon set up out there in the field, using the rubbled building as well as cover. Pretty cool. Now our tow carrier is getting eyes onto the BTRs at least, so I would much rather him try to target the T-72, but I don't think he has that good line of sight. But yeah, let's watch this and see if he gets a missile off. Here we go. And he's targeting, I can't even see it from here. I think it's in there. Yeah, you can see it if I zoom in really more, a lot here. You should see it. Impact. No kill though. He's nicely hidden there in the rubble. But we will keep firing, so. He's trying to target another one now. I think it's in the open, so that should probably allow him to have an easier time. Yeah, here we go. And follow the missile along. I hope his accuracy is good. Here, oh, there it goes. Just high. Come on, man. Oh well. He has, I think, quite a lot of missiles. Yeah, he has 8 in total, so. Let's see it. Can you do it? Can he do it? Come on. What the hell is this accuracy, man? Come on, you fire 3 toes. You're just wasting them at this point. Not like they're free. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Hitting a toe ain't that hard. You literally just put the crosshairs on and fire it. You have thermals and everything. Come on, man. There we go. Beautiful. Now I'm looking actually towards trying to take this set of buildings here, because as we can see with the line of sight tool, gives us great line of sight. But yeah, these mechanized recon soldiers will have to do that. And we killed another one. Good work. We should switch up the firing position now. I will have him hold here for a second and see if he can get any more targeting, but soon I will have to switch his position. Does not look like he can get any other rounds off. I'm curious though if there's any other possible position here on the right where we could target the T-72. Without exposing ourselves to the enemy BTR. We could also just... Oh! He's getting targeting towards the T-72. That is cool. That is cool. See, there's the missile and there's the tank. Come on, we need this. This would be so good if we could take out a T-72. Come on, man. He's gonna have to miss a little bit before getting it done, I think. Here we go. I don't think you can order it like just clicking on units, but I was curious. See what he sees. Oh yeah, you can see the tank quite clearly from there. Quite clearly, he says, but yeah, quite clearly, you know, considering the distance. This looks good. But it wasn't, I believe. And we only have one ATGM left here, so make it count. It's an I-toe though, not a toe 2. Okay. Not that it matters for the accuracy, I think, but it should matter for the impact we have on the tank. Although, an I-toe should punch through a T-72. Here we go, last missile now. Come on, guys. Come on, 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 come on. Please, it looks good. Yes, I think that was a hit. No damage, though. Okay. Well, out of rounds. We have some build sections which I want to get up instead. Some build ATGMs. Could try targeting these BTRs too with some Vigans. That would be pretty cool, I think. Send them in. 5 minutes out. If you guys are wondering why is he not so stressed, you know, he's played for an hour now. Well, this game takes its little time, you know, and I think that's what I like about it. I usually try to allocate the first hour to just recon and prep work and probing and such things, because I like to attack, so I only play the scenarios where I attack the enemy. And then the other hour I try to, or well, the next hour I try to allocate more to the actual attack in of itself. We could also just send in these anti-tank helicopters. So in Swedish, this one was actually not just called HKP-9. It was helicopter, which that stands for, it was called Pansarvärnshelikopter. If you listened intently now, you heard that I've called, let's see here. I've called, for example, this one, Pansarvärnsrobotbandvagn. Pansarvärn is anti-tank in Swedish, but it doesn't seem like we can switch over to battle position 2 already, so let's just hold on until we get control of this place. There is no scout teams just firing at our helicopter with AKs and RPKs and stuff. Okay, so here we are moving out the STRV 103s, the Stridsvagn 103. Yeah, if you follow along, it's the third tank with a 10.5 centimeter. And this one, you know, let's get one thing clear from the beginning. This is not a tank destroyer. It is a tank doctrinally. It has a main gun, it has tracks, it has armor. What more do you want? You need a turret? No, get out of here, man. A super interesting design, completely designed and built in Sweden, with, for example, 2 drivers, one frontal driver and one rear driver actually. So this one, it was very much, you know, a shoot and scoot kind of tank intended, but also, you know, intended of course in an offensive role. I'm gonna show you guys a little tidbit here, which I will link in the description as well. So here you have the Pansarreglemente Stridsvagnsplatoon from 1974. It means regulations for a tank platoon, basically, with the armored fist of the tank component or armored component of the Swedish Armed Forces up there. So let's take a look at something here. This is the contents. If we scroll down a little bit, here are different moments that you can use, or you have to think of, like, yeah, these are different instructions for different moments of battle, basically. And here, on the number 5, the fifth section here, anfall means attack. All of these are different, you know, how can you say it, parts of the attack. This is defense. This is how much, you know, theoretical material they allocated to a tank platoon commander for the defense. So, I mean, just judging by that, you can make your own conclusion. And also, you know, if you want to read this in English, just throw it into some kind of AI program or something. It will figure it out. It is just an interesting little document. So yeah, it's a tank. I don't know where you... do you need anything else? Do you need someone else than a Swedish military nerd to tell you it? I don't know. And oh my god, we are getting ahead of ourselves. We are missing out on this. The AJ-37 Viggen in the ground attack camouflage scheme. So only ground attackers had camouflage like this. Attack or air-to-air units always were just completely gray. And you might be thinking, does this guy have a relative that fought or play, or how do you say it, you know, served on this system? No, I don't. I do not actually. Oh, man, sorry guys. It's just I'm unused to this camera controls. Let's see now. So we're striking BTRs here with rockets and with bombs later. So we're taking a man-pad launch there from the right. Seems like we evaded it. And I think bombs away. Yeah. Cool. 3 out of 3 BTRs in the platoon destroyed. Nice work. Oh, actually this BTR managed to survive here probably. Good work by him. Here we have more vehicles, and we're actually getting some fires off. So our RBS team here for the bill is spotting and firing at a Soviet BTR, presumably. So that would be cool to see the top attack function. It's totally overkill on... hold on, how do I resume? There we go. It's totally overkill in this scenario, but yeah. I can see some autocannon fire. There you can go. It just goes up in there. Boom. Instant fire. Good work. Mortars are being spotted all the way back there. That is interesting. Who can see that? Oh, these guys. Okay. But yeah. Quite easy to get mixed up with the PBV and BPV, but yeah. And we'll see how these guys do. This is the most boring kind of fighting in any strategy game, just infantry combat. Could tell these guys to pop smoke and disengage, I think. Let's have them go fast behind there and let the IFVs deal with it instead. This scout team over here is taking indirect fire. I think it's better that they stay inside and take cover here. Maybe they could try getting quickly to this building. Yeah, good idea. Okay, cool. Let's get this scout team out of action, and this scout team will move up to try to contact from this side instead. The PBVs are moving into a good firing position, I believe. You can hear those loud engines from the 103s. Gas turbines are generally pretty loud. I think I found a suitable firing position for the ATGMs, which I put here. So let's do this very carefully here. So take one, tell them to advance up to there and unload. Take the other one. As these IFVs have not received any fire, I presume this area to be sort of safe, but I'm not taking any risks with these ATGM teams either. Our main battle tanks will have a hard time penetrating at this distance and from the front, so we kind of need to deal with it with ATGMs. I have moved up my tanks into kind of staging positions for the last assault. The 102s need to be, you need to be very strategic when moving them about because they are so freaking slow, and you don't want to go fast. Oh, what the hell? Among our robot men, what do you call it? Just among our ATGM crews here, an enemy scout team of some sort has been spotted. PBVs are close by though, but what this means is that we really need to haul ass out of there. So let's get over here with the PV and yeah, try to do something to get out of there. These guys are gonna unload straight. Can I tell them to stop unloading? No, I don't think I can. This might just get costly. They have assault rifles and an LMG though. So, I mean, maybe. We'll just stay here. The PBVs can get intel from these guys that there's something here. I don't know. Let's try to just move quickly away though. But yeah, let's get these dudes the hell away from there and let's get their vehicles situated somewhere else. There we go. And let's get these guys into a nice firing position. Okay, it's about time we get moving with our guys now, with the main force, so let me just order that around. Okay, and here we go. First ATGM fire towards the T-72 for a while now. Coming from a bill. Let's see. Yes! Beautiful work. Now we can probably... Okay, he's targeting the BTR. Can get these PBVs up as well. Advance till they get contact. Okay, another T-72. We are being engaged by their motor rifle squads. Let's have these guys quickly. I guess this is for retreat. I don't know. There we go. Kill the BTR though. Actually, hold there. If you can target a T-72, you should do it. You should do it. And instead... Come on. Yes! Another T-72 destroyed. Now there should only be one left if there's a platoon of them. These PBVs will do good work against the motor rifle squads in the open. Now we can see the IFVs are working with their autocannons, scout teams, ATGM teams which have machine guns also start working. Enemy troops in the open. Oh, damn. We got hit by something. Oh, they have an 87. God dang. They have ATGM in that squad. Oh. Okay. One of our mortars got his way over here though. So let's see if we can just get the mortar team selected. There we go. And they should target this ATGM team, definitely. Something like that, and let's get a bunch of rounds onto him. 10 rounds, come on. I was not expecting them to carry ATGMs. Well, we suffered from it. Or for it. But as long as we get that ATGM under control, we should be winning this engagement, I feel. You should pop smoke, maybe. I don't know. Now the ATGM team is being targeted, or the ATGM squad, carrying squad, is being targeted by our DBB over here. I think mortars should be coming in as well. But it's dangerous business, and our builds are taking some casualties for it. How many men are there in this? Does it say? I can't see it. Anyway. They're popping smokes. They don't want none of this. We are routing them. Good. And I'm sending up a mechanized company here around Lindby area. Yeah. They will know about this though, because they have a recon team observing my every movement here. But it is what it is. These guys need to pop smoke. And they need to get into their transport here. Okay, now we're firing here with the mortar as well, so that is good. That is good to see. Okay, seems like we're killing them off nicely enough. And the mortars are impacting here, so these guys should be thinking about doing something else with their lives. Enemy fixed wing aircraft spotted. Yet another MiG-27. This will be hell to pay for this formation. So let's tell them all to pop smoke. Actually, hold all positions and pop smoke so they don't go through their own smokes. Yeah. He is taking fire. But the smokes seem to have done their job quite nicely here for the remaining MiG-27. We have moved up our anti-air. Although, yeah, they're mostly here on the left side. But we have some Bofors guns down here. 40 millimeters, or Bofors, as it's supposed to be said. And further missile. Yeah, we took it down. Good work. And it crashed in Skurup, avoiding some houses nearly. Yeah. Let's get going with these armored rifles, or mechanized infantry in English. In proper English, so to say. Called Pansarskytte in Swedish, so that literally means armored rifles. Airborne infantry squad in here, god dang. That's nothing to mess with. That is nothing to mess with at all. But it's not enough to stand up to a mechanized platoon though. That is for sure. So, let's do as follows here. Hold on. I suspect there to be one more T-72 up here. So I don't want to be too cocky. Although I am quite cocky with these mechanized infantry platoons here.